there's 5 things that you should do the next time you go snowboarding, and we're just gonna get right into this. And the first thing is go to the highest part on the mountain, which is obviously where I'm not at. But if you can get to the highest part of the mountain, one thing I love about that is you get to see some of the most absolute incredible views. Check this out. I'm here at Copper Mountain, Colorado, and look at these views. This is insane. There's a cliff, there's a jump, there's a drop. It is cool. Another cool thing as an asterisk or part 2 to this one is try to ride every single chairlift. That is a great way, especially when you're riding a new mountain, just to try something absolutely new and get to go break the habit of doing the same old thing day after day. I tend to be a creature of habit, so I just do the same thing. And this is a great way for me to get out of my rhythm. Part of this video is also going to be a bit of a vlog style video. Oh, and we're gonna vibe, hang out, and we got 4 more talking points. But first, we're gonna go explore a bit of steeper runs. I'm really wanting to get into some like backcountry stuff and some steeper stuff and some I don't know, some like other stuff. So if you're interested in that kind of content, let me know down below. I reached out to a couple companies about some sponsorship opportunities, and if I can get some content out there to help you guys be more awesome, sounds pretty incredible, right? Okay, now I'm up above, tons of people, and we're gonna try to make this look good without getting embarrassed. So we're gonna try this. All right, so we get some nice little turns, and then we're gonna get right into our next talking points. Oh, let's go. Whoa, a little punchy, not the best, but it's still fun. Let's go. All right, now we gotta navigate through the people. And today's video is sponsored by Insta360 Ace Pro 2. And here's 3 reasons why I love this camera. Number 1 is the quality of the video is incredible. It actually has an 8K sensor, which means it's gonna be the craziest, crispest thing, but you also can go to 4K 120 frames per second, which means we can get like the sickest slow motion shots, which have been incredible for all the video breakdowns that I do here on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So this camera has like incredible quality. Number 2 is that its stabilization is incredible. I literally have not added stabilization. It is all done in camera. So long as you point it in the general area of somebody, it's literally gonna get the shot. It's gonna look smooth, because the last thing you want is for a shaky camera, because you watching this video would absolutely throw up, and we can't have that. And I love having a screen that is going to be like high quality so I can just see the shot, but it's so versatile. So no matter what I'm doing, selfie stuff, filming, it's always going to be super clean. And most importantly with this camera, the battery is incredible. Now this battery does work in -degree weather, but I've had batteries that will absolutely not even turn on the camera because they are not awesome. So if you're interested in picking up an incredible, an absolute best action cam on the market, check out the link down below and definitely pick up the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Number 2 is really focus on knee steering. Now, I'm not gonna dive super far into the knee steering, but if you can do knee steering, it's literally gonna dramatically improve everything of your snowboarding. If you're gonna understand how to turn your snowboard better. I'm gonna try to find a nice little area to demonstrate this. Here we go, beautiful. Yeah, it's a little cold here, but knee steering allows me to be in a better balanced position, allowing me to ride just like this. Notice that my belly button's sitting in the same place and my upper body sitting in the same place. My lower body is able to go out from underneath me. What's cool about that is now, if I want to go navigate in these random trees, I can be in a better body position, better balance to be able to handle this condition. Now we're getting into some snow and some pow. And no, this is not where I wanted to go, but I don't care, because if you have the right skill and the right body position, it's gonna make life 10 times easier. And I can tell you right now, I was not meaning to do that because my pants are not rolled down. And it is really cold. My face is so frozen. Number 3, or the next 3 points, let's call it, yeah, next 3. We're gonna do some tricks. Now, my goal is to make you as awesome as possible at snowboarding. And by doing tricks, it does 2 things. 1, it's way more fun, way more engaging. Plus 2, it helps put your body in different body positions, which helps you like learn the skill of snowboarding. The very first one we're gonna do is called a layback. Now this can be done, literally performed on like a green flat run like this, as long as you have a little bit of momentum. And if you have hip problems, shoulder problems, back problems, just use caution with this. So the goal is to be able to take both of my hands and put them back on the ground, just like this. Obviously I'm not doing the greatest example with my camera arm, but a layback. Now, I'm just gonna give us a little breakdown of the layback. So my goal is to get my belly button as low as I can. And I do that by flexing at my knees and my hips. And then I'm trying to get my belly button to go behind my binding. So I can go here. Now notice the belly button's already going behind. I'm already pretty close. Then I just gotta commit to a little bit more oomph and trust of getting my belly button all the way to the tail of the board. So step 1, step 2, step 3, and then I can lean back with it. And if I wanna add more awesomeness, I can take my other hand, look back, and just hold it. And then as you get a little bit more speed, you can just go boom. You can even drag your head, do a nice little 180 out if you want. So there's a lot of different variations of this trick that you can implement just like that. That's gonna be number 1 trick. So like bullet point number 3, trick number 1. I'm not gonna lie to you, my nose is so cold. Oh, I'm so cooked right now, but that's okay. So we're gonna make it up. Now, the next one is gonna be a nice little tail butter. So it's gonna look like this. So our goal is to be able to engage our core, go sideways, get the board to press, and do that. Now, 2 big asterisks. I have a bad hip, so fully committing to this is actually super painful. And I'm not trying to wreck my season, but if you can really exaggerate that press, it's gonna be a lot easier. Number 2, if you have a more soft board, this is going to be a lot easier. Now, a butter essentially is rotating your board while pressing over one part of the board more than the other, such as a nose press or tail press, again, with combining the rotation. Now, there's obviously different ways you could do that. There's different styles. I had a random dude try to call me out. It was the funniest thing. He tried to call me out for a press, and he went like this. He's like, oh, you can do a press like this. And his nose didn't even get off the board. It was the funniest thing. What? His board didn't even get off the ground. He's literally flat ground. What he was roasting me for was being a little ratchety. So when I do mine, sometimes I'm like here, and then I'll like kind of speed it up a little bit, especially on a really stiff board. And the board I was riding was like the gnarliest, stiffest board you'll ever ride. And sometimes it's a little ratchety. So this guy online called me out, made a video, and then he's like, no, I'm not calling him out. It's like, yes, you are. It was so weird, so insecure. But different ways. So experiment, figure out which one's yours. I personally like my back foot, but you can still do a butter over your lead foot, just like this. Still capable of it. It's not like I can't do it. I just don't prefer it. But I probably should, because that hip doesn't hurt. But it's when this leg's in the air, I'm pulling, it hurts. So regardless. Now let's just do a little quick breakdown to make this a little as easy as possible. Our step number 1, I recommend doing a side slip and then just leaning to one foot, leaning, and then exaggerate that and exaggerate it and see which one feels easier. That's a good way to know if it's your nose or tail. After that, try to do a bit of a turn and then get into a press and then try to hold that. Even though my nose is barely up, I'm starting to understand where that balance point is. Then I can have the opportunity to take that belly button. I'm gonna move the camera here. Take that belly button and press my belly button further towards the tail. So as I go not really over the tail, as I go more over the tail, and then I don't want to run into anyone. We're gonna do it one more time. And then on this third example, I'm gonna go really far over the tail. It's like really far, right? So you definitely have that. And then as a fun little challenge is try to go tail on your heel side turn, try to go tail on your toe side turn, and then do that for your nose as well. So you could have like 4 different butter variations. It's a good way to develop your skill and see what you're most familiar with. Pretty cool, right? And then let me know if you're liking this style of content. We're not done yet, but comment down below what other videos you want me to break down or other concepts you want me to break down. Plus, if you leave a like, it lets me know that you like this style of video and it helps me make more videos that you enjoy, because my goal is to make you as awesome as possible. And I appreciate you staying this long, but we are not done yet. And the next trick that we're gonna learn is absolutely, I'm not gonna say one of my absolute favorite, but it is a really fun one. And that's going to be a frontside 180. Now you're like, Tommy, that's kind of basic. Yes, frontside 180 leads into so many awesome tricks because this is kind of the gateway into spinning. You got to do these things. 1, understand how to wind up. 2, understand how to pop or jump. 3, be able to rotate in the air. 4, be able to land, switch. And if you can have this fundamental, that's gonna allow the front side 3 in the air to be a lot easier, especially going on to jumps and stuff. So if you can really focus on understanding the first little introduction / gateway trick, which is gonna be our front 1. So I'm gonna give you a quick little breakdown. Yo, let's go! That was wild. I was not expecting that, but you know what? We appreciate the hype. But let's break down how to do a nice 180. I'm gonna break this down into like 3 or 4 steps. Number 1, just really focus on winding up your lead shoulder. Simultaneously, you're gonna get low. Now I'm gonna unwind and I'm gonna pretend I'm jumping, but I'm not gonna actually catch air. So I'm gonna do that wind up. I'm gonna get on my heels and I'm gonna throw, skid on the ground, go to a full 180 degrees, and then pretend to land or absorb the landing. Now the best part of this trick is I need to get back to my dominant direction. So I'm actually gonna go do it again the other way and really emphasize those body mechanics. And then step number 2 is I'm gonna essentially do the same thing, but we're gonna add a little bit of a jump in the middle. But this time I know I have to try to catch air, and I'm gonna have to make sure I don't catch an edge. So anytime our board is across the hill, we absolutely wanna make sure that our toes are up. So let me show you again, and specifically watch my toes. I'm gonna wind up, I'm gonna get a little jump, toes up, and then I'm gonna finish, and then pretend to absorb the landing. Additionally, make sure that your back shoulder, which is now gonna be our new shoulder or new lead shoulder, make sure that's pointing in the direction you wanna go. A lot of times, one of the biggest mistakes is we'll go like this, wind up, throw, and then notice the shoulder never did the 180. That's actually gonna cause us to under-rotate it, go to our heels, and not actually complete this trick at all. So I recommend this shoulder is a big emphasis. Here, boom, notice how the shoulder went and how easy the lower body was able to snap around. Okay, now that we've done, there's a flat ground, we've done a 90, we're gonna need to do the whole thing. And if you're not ready for that, do like, instead of 180 degrees, do like 145, so that I get that wind up still. And it's like wind up, throw, and I mostly got it, but notice I didn't get the whole thing. Totally okay as a steps to progression, but the end goal is to be able to go all the way from our heels. And I like to think about landing back on my toe side edge. That really ensures that I've completed the whole thing. Plus it gives me a little bit more control when I'm landing. If I tend to land on my heels, I kind of do this, and I skid it around, and then notice I haven't fully done the 180, and then I naturally want to go back. To really own the 180, you want to be able to do a full 180 and be able to make like 2 switch turns. If you can make 2 switch turns, then you like literally own it. Absolutely. So let me know if you want like a full video on just like flat ground breakdowns, because I'm thinking about that might be a really good video, especially as like spring starts coming up and the conditions get really soft. That could be really fun. So if you want like a full 10 tricks to break down flat ground, I could absolutely do that. So let me know if you're digging this style of content. By liking the video, comment down below what other videos you want me to make on this style of breakdown. And if you're interested in picking up an awesome action cam, check out the Insta360 X4 Pro 2. Absolutely one of my favorite, absolute sickest cameras. Check it out, it's gonna be linked down below. And on that note, I'm out of here. Peace out, let's go.